With just over a minute left to give them the lead for good, the Knicks come back from 17 down in the fourth to beat the Cavs 126-124. Brunson finished with 34 points. Meanwhile, in San Francisco, Dallas rookie Cooper Flagg, 27 points in his Christmas Day debut. Wasn't good enough, though. Steph Curry knocked down the key three late in that fourth. Warriors beat my Mavs 126-116. Curry finished with 23. And in Oklahoma City, Victor Wembanyama, just dominated. Wemby, 19 points, 10 rebounds. Spurs beat the Thunder 117-102. OKC has now lost 5 games this season, 3 of them to San Antonio in less than 2 weeks. And you saying goes the fool, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. What happens when you get fooled 3 times? Spurs 3-0 against the Thunder this season. All 3 wins coming in the last couple of weeks. They've clearly found the formula to beating the NBA champs. 2-6 against OKC. Okay, so Perk, I like to claim I called this one. You tell me why.
You did.
Yeah, I told you. I told you that the first going to take that belt out there. You tell me why, man. Why do they keep beating OKC? And I thought it was SGA even said, you know what? When a team is better than you, you got to find out why, take ownership of that, and get better. He said that after the game, and he said the Spurs are better than us right now. Why is that?
And they've been on their asses like back pockets. I mean, look, when you talk about the OKC and this matchup over with the Spurs, I've never seen the Oklahoma City Thunder get punked and a team make them look soft. That's what we're witnessing right now. And yes, Victor Wembanyama is a big part of that problem. J-Dub pointed that out last night in his interview. When you have a 7'5", 7'7" guy taking up so much space, but that's not the only problem. The problem that they have is that they have big guards. San Antonio have big guards and big wings. We look at De'Aaron Fox, who last night had 29 points, led the team in scoring. Dylan Harper coming in off the bench, impacting both ways. And that damn Stephon Castle, who just might be a first-time All-Star this season, getting it done on both ends of the floor. And when you think about the depth that they have, the championship experience in Harrison Barnes, he had a solid performance 2 games ago. He had a dub. And I gotta get on my boy Chet Holmgren for a minute. He's playing soft in this matchup. Victor Wembanyama wants the smoke. He's ducking that smoke right now. That hard foul that he had and yelling and clapping at the free throw line, Chet got to come with it next time they play the Spurs. It might be in the postseason, but he got to come with it because right now the Spurs are punking the Thunder and they're making them look soft.
When you watch it, how did you see it? How did you see them dominate?
One thing, though, because actually, Perk, we don't have to wait till the postseason. January 13th and February 4th, we get the next 2 installments of this series.
That's the smoke.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
So there was a sequence in the second quarter, about 2 minutes before halftime, that to me was really indicative of what we've seen. On the one end, you had the Spurs get into the paint. They got a good opportunity. On the other end, you saw, I think it was a Alex Caruso 3-corner miss, right? And so just looking at the stats through this matchup, because I think Perk is right in terms of it meaning more to the Spurs, and they are playing harder, and they have been the better team in this matchup. But when I just look through the stats of these, through 2 of these matchups, the Thunder have shot 25% from the 3, and in one of them, they only got 7 free throws. And so Victor Wembanyama's presence in the paint is disruptive enough in terms of, I think 4 different guys had 1 block, and those are actual register blocks, not just contests. So they're making the Thunder uncomfortable in terms of what has been their bread and butter. How often do we talk about Shai Butter, beautiful, fantastic game, reigning MVP, all that good stuff, how they get to the paint as a team? And so they have run into a team that is uniquely positioned both mentally and physically with their personnel to match what it is that the Thunder do. Now, I think a lot of teams, we've got great scouts and great coaches in this league, can tell you how to beat the beat the Thunder, but they don't necessarily have the personnel the way that the Spurs do.
You said this yesterday. Maybe they've expedited their rebuilding process. Are they legit title contender.
How can they not be,
I'm talking about the
BC?
Spurs.
Now, this is
and
what
can they beat the Thunder in the playoffs? It's one thing to do it in the regular season.
Right now, I would still take the Thunder in a playoff series, and this is because of something De'Aaron Fox said in Vegas as those teams were preparing for the Cups. He admitted that typically, in order to get to the next level, you have to go through some playoff battles as a collective, and they haven't necessarily been there. Now, could this be the group to upset the apple cart and break the chain? Sure, but I do think that this team is a legitimate contender because what did we say about OKC? Now, granted, we'll go back and say they went to this level of playoffs and this level of playoffs, but the idea that the league is getting younger is happening in real time, and they've got an excellent veteran leader in Harrison Barnes.
I see you shaking your head, Perk.
They are. I agree. They're legit title contenders. And look, this wasn't just a message to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Yes, that's the measuring stick because they're the champs. This was a message to the entire NBA. And if we're going to put a team like the Rockets as being legit title contenders or a team like the Minnesota Timberwolves as being legit title contenders, damn it, I'm willing to jump off the porch and say the Spurs are ready right now. Stephon Castle has been a winner his entire basketball career. We saw what he did at UConn. Right now, looking like one of the best two-way players in the game. They're well coached, they're disciplined, and most importantly, they sacrifice. Victor Wembanyama, since returning from injury, has been coming off the bench, and we haven't heard a damn word about it. They just keep losing themselves in the team.
You're right. He hasn't even logged 30 minutes yet a game yet coming off the bench. It's visiting LeBron, Luka, and the Lakers. Both teams trying to avoid their first three-game losing streak of the season. Rockets up 7. This is the first quarter in the Slim Reaper. KD.
Come on, man, the ageless wonder.
up 10 at this point. Still in the first quarter. Talking about the ageless wonder. How about LeBron?
I mean, this was good to see early. Maybe didn't hold throughout the course of the ball game.
That cut it to 9. And then Durant again. Ooh, a little hezzy. Count that.
Man, easy money sniper is the most appropriate social handle ever.
He had 16 in the first half. A couple of minutes later, Durant again doing what he does. Knocking down threes. And then Lakers down 17. Luka mid-range is no good. Rockets coming the other way, and you know what?
Come on, get up!
Amen. Amen. Thompson lays it in. The Rockets were just rolling heading into the fourth quarter. And watch here. James gets the ball stolen. Durant, Jabari Smith. I mean, this was just a Rockets masterclass. They win it 119-96. Never trailed in the game. Thompson led everyone with 26 points. James suffering the worst margin of defeat on Christmas in his career.
Stay around long enough, you're going to have some bad historic marks.
Well, the Lakers are 19-10 when they lose big. All 10 of their losses this season have come by double digits, and the average losses have come by over 18 points per game. Only the Wizards, Monica McNutt,
not my Washington Wizards,
have the worst record in the NBA, suffering larger losses on average this season. J.J. Redick was not happy after the game.
Why do you think your team was unable to execute the things that it was tasked with?
Because we don't care enough right now. And that's the part that bothers you a lot. We don't care enough to do the things that are necessary. We don't care enough to be a professional. It's a matter of making the choice. And too often we have guys that don't want to make that choice. And it's pretty consistent who those guys are. And so Saturday's practice, I told the guys, it's going to be uncomfortable. The meeting is going to be uncomfortable. I'm not doing another 53 games like this.
Wow. Listen, earlier this week, he called them out for their defensive lackluster effort. Give me your thoughts, Big Perk, what you heard out of J.J. Redick.
It's always somebody else's fault. It's never J.J. Redick's fault. It's never, and look, I watched the game last night. Did I see LeBron James pouting all game long? Did I see the bad body language from LeBron? Absolutely. Did I see him not putting forth the defensive effort and getting back in transition, only having 2 rebounds last night in the game when you know a team loves to pound the glass and grab offensive rebounds? Did I see your best player, your franchise player, Luka Doncic, complaining after every single call? You damn right I did. But JJ, why don't they care? Why are they not playing hard? Why are they not trying to compete on the defensive side of things? You're the coach. That's a reflection of you. When your team is not responding and going out there and competing at a high level defensively and playing hard, that's saying that they're not listening or that they somewhat lack respect for you. So it's got to be a level of accountability all across the board. I understand. Listen, J.J. Redick, he had a pretty damn good season last year. But let's not act like he went to the conference finals. Let's not act like he won the NBA championship. It's some things that he needs to work on. And it's also, if he's going into that meeting and practice on Saturday, he needs to be addressing the best two players on the team, and that's LeBron James and Luka Doncic, for their lack of effort, lack of inconsistency, and lack of leadership that they're displaying right now.
I'm kind of scratching my head, Monica, about this team because, obviously LeBron didn't start the season off with them, and they were rolling off wins left and right, and everybody's like, oh, look at the Lakers. And then all of a sudden, things just flipped. How much did J.J. Redick deserve blame here?
I mean, he's in it. Those are your guys. That's your team. You are the leader. Whether it's good, bad, or ugly, you got to take responsibility. I don't think that he's not willing to take responsibility, though. I think about the conversations when JJ was still our colleague. I think about the podcast a little bit. And he's a guy that played in the league for 15 years as a specialist. And so I think there's a way that he sees it that, to Perk's point, is not necessarily connecting with his stars. But the other thing, too, that I think, VC, we got to be honest about, the league is getting younger and younger and younger. And I get it. LeBron James is one of one. Luka Doncic, MVP candidate, all of that good stuff.
Right.
But the way that Houston plays, the way that OKC plays, the way that the Spurs are playing, the teams that you're chasing in the West, like, the other teams are now in a position to expose in a big-time way, in my mind, the areas that the Lakers come up short in. Now, I agree. Everybody has to be looked at when it comes to this Lakers organization, but the reality of it to me is that the league is changing over, and right now, they're just not built to continue to keep up.
Perk, I see you percolating.
I get that, Monica, but at the same time, both of these teams the Rockets and the Lakers both walked into this Christmas Day game struggling. The Rockets had lost their last two. They were struggling to find their identity. And I'm not saying you're going to listen. I'm not saying you're going to win every single game in the NBA. But this is about the fifth or sixth time this season that JJ has come out publicly calling his team out about the little things and the lack of effort. That is disturbing. That is frustrating. And why I say JJ has to hold himself accountable, because there's only so many times throughout the course of the season that a head coach can continue to call out his team. We have never seen JJ Redick come to the podium and say, oh, huh?
But let me jump in, though, because you live this. What's the disconnect then? Like, what do you perceive as the disconnect? Because we all know JJ knows ball, right? We all know LeBron and Luka are great. What is the disconnect? Because from where I'm sitting, it is like a lack of effort. Is that an oversimplification?
No, but what I'm saying, the disconnect got to be that he doesn't have the ears of that locker room. Because if he did, then we wouldn't be having these conversations, right? I always look at a team that play with effort, that play hard defensively. Even though we know that they're lacking the personnel, they still not putting forth the effort. And that comes from them not receiving the message from their head coach and the leader of their locker room.
We're going to talk more about the Lakers a little bit later.